Welcome to this Let's Play of Resident Evil on the PlayStation. My name is Megatron Bison. Although I'm playing the Director's Cut version of the game, I'm actually going to be playing the original scenario, which is available on the disc. I thought I'd keep things classic that way, but let's just see how it works out. As you can see, there's no options, so there's training mode, which gives you double ammo, and the enemies are considerably weaker. Advanced, which is the actual Director's Cut. And if you hold right there, you're actually able to get double ammo no matter what version you play, although it will affect your save file. And as you can see, there's Chris and Jill. I'll be selecting Jill now, and then shutting up whilst the cutscene plays.
Alpha Team is flying around the forest zone situated in northwest Raccoon City, where we're searching for the helicopter of our compatriots Bravo Team, who disappeared during the middle of our mission.
You haven't found it?
No, I haven't found it yet. Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently eaten. Bravo Team went to the hideout of the group and disappeared.
Look, Chris!
It was Bravo Team's helicopter. Nobody was in it. But strangely, most of the equipment was still there. However, we soon discovered why.
Hey! Come here!
Wesker. Resident Evil.
They have escaped into the mansion where they thought it was safe. Yet...
What is this? Wow! What a mansion!
Captain Wesker, where's Chris?
Stop it! Don't open that door!
But Chris is...
What is it? Maybe it's Chris. Now, Jill, can you go?
I'm going with you. Chris is our old partner, you know.
Okay, let me handle this. Stay alert!
A dining room.
You're gonna notice very quickly that Barry seems to be obsessed with dining rooms. And Jill, as we're showing here, can examine items. And many of the things in the game get a description, but a lot of the time it's just that it's not very useful or is stating the obvious. But anyway.
What? What is this?
What is it?
Blood. Jill, see if you can find any other clues. I'll be examining this. Hope this is not Chris's blood.
That would be a terrible shame, wouldn't it? As we can see here, Barry is investigating. And Barry, I'm pretty sure it's still blood, and he doesn't have any sort of blood analysis kit to test if it's Chris's blood, so I'm not sure why he's finding it so fascinating, like he's never seen blood before, but as you can see, there was an emblem in the wall there, and let's take a look at our equipment here. Yeah, in the first Resident Evil, they actually allow you to look at a 3D model of every item that you pick up, and this is our Beretta, the standard gun for the game, so we'll be equipping that. You also have the combat knife, and as Jill's going to point out here, it's definitely not going to be enough for the mission. Although there are some crazy players out there who have finished Resident Evil using only the knife before, which really has to be seen to be believed. We've got our fade spray, which I assume is supposed to be first aid spray, and yeah, it will heal any wound that you get to full. And not only that there, but in the original Resident Evil you won't get punished for using them. And then finally there's that emblem that was on the fireplace, and yeah, it's scratched like it's been used, and as you can tell it looks like it's made out of wood. But anyway, let's carry on into this next room. We're looking for clues after all, aren't we? Like some sort of Scooby-Doo characters. Oh my god, it's a zombie! Yeah, if you didn't know zombies were the main enemy of Resident Evil, then you've probably been living under a rock. According to Shinji Mikami, the game's producer and director of sorts, this here zombie is the only thing that he found scary in the whole game, mainly because in that little cutscene you've seen before, apparently the zombie's eye was actually scanned from that of a real corpse. Also, that scene with Kenneth, the bit where his head rolls off isn't in any other version of the game other than the Japanese version. I had to edit that in secretly. Same with the intro, it's the fully uncut intro. The director's cut, ironically, doesn't come with the uncensored intro, so it's not really a director's cut. Anyway, we've seen there Kenneth from Star's Bravo team has now become a mere shadow of his former self. And I've always thought that was a rather interestingly poetic way of putting it. And as you see here, Kenneth had some clips on him. And it's easier to combine items in the sub-menu to reload your gun, i.e. the bullets with the handgun, rather than manually letting it reload, because you're more likely to get killed that way.
Barry?
What is it?
Watch out! It's a monster!
Let me take care of this. What is it?
Kenneth was killed too. Maybe by this creature. Anyway, let's report this to Wesker.
Yes, let's do that. Let's report it to Wesker. Now we're going to run over here with Barry and check out where Wesker's gone. Maybe he's still here.
Wesker! Help me look for him, Jill. And don't leave this hall for the time being.
Yeah, we're gonna have a wee search here for Wesker. As you see with the first zombie, sometimes they'll pretend to go down like they're dead, but they're not fully dead until you actually see the blood pouring out them. Oh man, more Jehovah's Witnesses. Yep, there's no point opening the front door, even though quite early in the game you'd probably be easily enough equipped to take out the dogs. You're gonna fight a lot worse than dogs in this game. Anyway, Barry's having a wee look around here, and I'm practicing my aim again. There seems to be a nice carpet, but there's no clues on it. And I just had to get this angle where you see Barry having a good old look around. But anyway, the way to trigger the next scene instantly is to run under these stairs.
Find anything, Jill?
Nothing. What is this all about? I can't figure it out at all.
Beats me, too.
Now it's Wesker's time to disappear. I don't know what's going on.
Well, it can't be helped. Let's search for him separately. I'll check the dining room again.
Okay, I'll try the door on the opposite side.
This mansion is gigantic. We could get into trouble if we get lost. We should start from the first floor, okay? And Jill, here's a lockpick. It might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you.
Thanks. Maybe I'll need it.
Listen, if something happens, let's meet up in this hall. This time, I'll be there.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most infamous cutscenes in video game history, but I love it. Barry's such a massive ham, and Jill's just so utterly clueless. There's also the classic observation that Jill is the master of unlocking, yet for some reason didn't actually carry the lockpick, so that's just a little bit weird, to say the least. Anyway, we're actually going to ignore Barry's advice, because I'm going to try and trigger a few of the lesser seen cutscenes in the game. And going to the first floor, as Barry directed, will be the standard path through the game really, but if you're being deliberately obtuse, you can get a couple of different scenes. Anyway, we've got these here red skin zombies. These ones are more inclined to puke vomit at you rather than just grab and munch you like the regular greens. And as you see there, blood's pulling around that one, so it's dead, as I said earlier. And this is the first puzzle of sorts. If Barry was in the dining room that he's so obsessed with, then he would get a shock when that statue fell down. I'm not going to bother fighting that zombie at the moment, because why waste ammo on something that you've no need to do? He's not really bothering me. We've got one right up close in here, though. So I'm reloading off screen rather than letting the zombie try and get me on screen. There's no actual separate reload button in the original Resident Evil games, so it's a matter of running out of your clip and reloading, or combining on the submenu. As you can tell, the zombies, provided you keep your distance, aren't much threat. And down he goes. You'll see that I obsessive compulsively arrange my items in this game for some reason. Over here, you've got our first locked door, which is the carving of a helmet. And there's a numerical key panel here, but we don't know the pass number, and it's not even going to let us try to figure it out for ourselves. There are some versions of Resident Evil where you're actually able to skip those loading scenes, but I know they somehow add to the atmosphere. We're going to ignore the zombie under the stairs because he's literally no threat, and we're into our first safe room. In these here rooms, there's usually always going to be a typewriter where you can save your game, usually an ink ribbon alongside them as well, and these safe magic boxes which will transport goods to the other side of the world somehow. These are essential to play the game, because as you can see, Jill's only able to carry 8 items, and worse still, Chris is only able to carry 6 items. But that's the only inventory management screen I plan on keeping on the game through the boxes. I will be quickly snipping out the rest, because they're not very fun to watch me obsessively arrange items, or forget which item had actually originally went into the menu to get and that kind of thing. But we've got all the stuff we need. We've dumped off the items we don't need. We'll never be using that knife again. We'll try this door, and oh, it's locked too. And there's carving of armor in this one. You're beginning to spot a theme with these keys, I'm sure. And here we got another zombie, so might as well take the bastard out. I really love the music in this here game. That their low cello-y music for some of the mansion, it's just perfectly creepy. It's not really obvious in your face stuff. I managed to miss him there, which was annoying. Oh, well, we've got the first use of the lockpick to open this room up. If you're playing with Chris, he doesn't use a lockpick. He gets to carry a lighter with him at all times, however. And, well, Chris instead has to find a sword key, and for lots of little drawers in the game has to find these small keys, which are just miscellaneous, and I believe you can pick them up and use them in any drawer that requires it. But over here, looks like there's a diary. Let's have a read at this. Oh, somebody doesn't want us reading his diary. And he very nearly got to take a bite out of me there, but he's dead. Well, he's playing dead anyway, and now he's completely and actually dead. So we've got the shells, because everything is in uppercase when you pick it up in this game. In fact, every item is, so that makes me feel like screaming them. At night we played poker with Scott the guard, Alias, and Steve the researcher. Steve was really lucky, but I think he was cheating. What a scumbag. May 10th, 1998. Today a high-ranking researcher asked me to take care of a new monster. It looks like a gorilla without any skin. They told me to feed them live food. When I threw in a pig, they were playing with it, tearing off the pig's legs and pulling out the guts before they actually ate it. May 11th, 1998. Around 5 o'clock this morning, Scott came in and woke me up suddenly. He was wearing a protection suit that looks like a space suit. He told me to put one on as well. I heard there was an accident in the basement lab. It's no wonder those researchers never rest, even at night. May 12th, 1998. I've been wearing this annoying spacesuit since yesterday. My skin grows musty and feels very itchy. By way of revenge, I didn't feed those dogs today. Now I feel better. May 13th, 1998. I went to the medical room because my back is all swollen and feels itchy. They put a big bandage on my back, and the doctor told me I did not need to wear the spacesuit anymore. I guess I can sleep well tonight. May 14th, 1998. When I woke up this morning, I found another blister on my foot. It was annoying, and I ended up dragging my foot as I went to the dog's pen. They've been quiet since morning, which is very unusual. I found out that some of them had escaped. I'll be in real trouble if the higher-ups find out. May 15th, 1998. Even though I didn't feel well, I decided to go see Nancy. It's my first day off in a long time. But I was stopped by the guard on the way out. They say the company has ordered that no one leave the grounds. I can't even make a phone call. What kind of joke is this? May 16th, 1998. I heard a researcher who tried to escape from this mansion was shot last night. My entire body feels burning and itchy at night. When I was scratching the swelling on my arm, a lump of rotten flesh dropped off. What the hell's happening to me? May 19th, 1998. Fever gone but itchy. Hungry and eat doggy food. Itchy, itchy scat game. Ugly face who killed him. Tasty. Itchy. Tasty. Yeah, as you can see, this researcher was probably the zombie right there that didn't want us reading his diary to let us know that, well, not only was the guy a bit of a jerk and didn't like to treat animals very well, but something seems to have happened in this here laboratory and it somehow infected him. That would certainly explain all the undead hanging around anyway, wouldn't it? Well, we're gonna try up here. And this door's locked from the other side, so instead we're gonna go in here. It's great having the lockpick and not having to use the sword key, taking up another bunch of your item space, and of course the fact with Chris, the fact that you can only carry 6 items makes it even more annoying. But there's a piano there, and if you notice this shelf is rendered in 3D, that means we'll probably be able to move it. And behind it is hidden some music notes. Great. Well, we've got music notes and we've got a piano. So let's check out the music. The title is The Moonlight Sonata. I believe that's one of Beethoven's pieces, and yeah, it's a great piece of music. And as we see here in a rather annoying fashion, it won't let me use an item near where I need to use it unless I'm pressed right up against it. And I also check out those shotgun shells, which, well, the box art's a bit blurry these days. But turns out Jill can really play piano. Well, much like in a cheesy horror movie, it turns out there's secret passages in this house, triggered by pianos of all things. Well, there's a nice gold emblem, so let's take that. Oh, but looks like we're trapped, so how on earth are we gonna get out? It doesn't take anyone with much of a brain to figure out that you're gonna need something to replace it with. So that's why we picked up that wood emblem that had been in the fireplace earlier. And again, there's indication that somebody's used this nice golden one, so they've probably been shifted around a lot. So we'll leave the fake emblem there, and then we can escape with this gold one. How Jill learned to play the piano, we never come to know. She's a member of a Special Tactics and Rescue Squad, that's what STAR stands for. Yet also a master pianist, it would seem, so that's a bit odd, isn't it? Girl of many talents, I guess. Lockpicking, piano, making really dumb observations, she's got it all. Anyway, here we're going to put in this gold emblem. And with 3 ominous chimes, now the clock's going to move out of the way. Also, the remains of that statue we pushed over earlier contain this here blue jewel. Let's check what was behind this clock. Oh, there's a mansion key. Hopefully it's one of the keys that we've seen and we need. And the blue jewel looks pretty nice. And if you examine the keys and check the right label on them, it'll tell you what they are. And this is the shield key. And now knowing that there, it just makes it easier for figuring out which doors you can use that on. We've not actually came across any doors that require a shield key yet then. We're going to backtrack into this here room for another wee puzzle. There is a lot of backtracking in this here game. Resident Evil games are more or less just massive fetch quest games with the occasional bit of clunky combat thrown in, but There's just something about the cheesy horror atmosphere that I can't help be charmed with. It reads some tigers have a red eye and a blue eye, which I'm pretty sure is complete and utter bullshit. But if we stick in the blue diamond, it doesn't say that they've got blue diamonds for eyes, Jill, but turns out she was right. There's a hidden item behind here, and it's a wind crest. And this is going to spin round to where it had been before, and as you can probably guess, we're going to need to get a red eye, or red gemstone rather, to put in there to get another hidden item later in the game. This game first came out in 1996, and it's kind of hailed as being one of the most famous games series ever. They like call the series a survival horror series, and it's erroneously cited as being the first survival horror game ever, but that's not actually the case. You could argue that Alone in the Dark was the first one, or there was earlier computer games that had survival horror elements, including one Capcom themselves called Sweet Home. Again, I've tastefully edited this here little scene out just so you don't get quite as much item management. But anyway, Sweet Home was done by Capcom, and I believe Shinji Mikami was involved there too, and it was a very, very violent little game on the Famicom, based on a movie as well that was released at the same time. However, it was never translated in America, and it was also a turn-based kind of RPG game, so not quite a survival horror game. To say the least, Resident Evil is the game that really, really popularized the franchise. The whole idea of survival horror. This here one popularized it, and then many games came out, people called them clones, even though you could have claimed Resident Evil was an Alone in the Dark clone. But you could argue that till the cows come home, and then where would we be? Anyway, we're going to check out the other side of the hall here. That music doesn't sound good. And nor does that blood on the ground look good. I hope this blood isn't from my teammates. It's Jill, obviously.
Jill! Don't scare me.
That's what I was going to say. Aren't you supposed to be going over the first floor, Barry?
Yeah, you're right. But just take a look at this. It's Forrest. Oh my God.
It's awful.
I'm going to find out what caused Forrest's death. It looks like he was killed by a crow or something. Can you look around the first floor, Jill?
Okay.
Hey, Jill. This must have been Forrest's. You don't have a weapon. Take this with you. I can't believe.
Yeah, it does seem a lame way to have died, doesn't it, Barry? To have been killed by birds. Anyway, we get the bazooka, which is pretty nice, as well as Barry's Oscar-winning performance. The bazookas are pretty damn strong, and as you can tell, it's loaded with explosive rounds. Explosive rounds are the most common ammo type for the bazooka, and do what they say on the tin, really. They'll take out most enemies in one hit at this stage of the game. carrying on. We're gonna head down to the first floor. After all, Barry told us to do it, and it'd be rude to ignore Albaz's advice, wouldn't it? This is the first room that most people enter in the game, and this here has the map hidden in the statue of that there woman drawing the water, and I'm going to be checking out some of the pictures around here. Unfortunately, none of these pictures have any use, but we can really see here that Jill's no art critic. She doesn't have a lot to say about the pieces. I guess she was more of a musical lover, given her piano playing. And a picture of a chubby woman, Jill. That's no way to talk about these women, come on. But anyway, that wasn't really much of a puzzle at all, was it? It even shows you, if you leave the game running at the title screen long enough, how to get that there map. Yeah, it doesn't take a genius. Not many of the puzzles in this game are super hard, really. They all just really require logic. And right here we have what looks to be a dead zombie, but nope, not quite. He's munching on my foot, and Jill's still got the old magic. Kicks that head right into the back of the net. We've got some ink ribbons, which you use to save the game with. I'm just going to pick some up for later. And we're going to head through this door. And down this room. It's the first big jump scare of the game when the dogs jump through the windows out here. As you can see, the grenade launcher makes very short work of them. There's lots of skulls in these cabinets, but you'll notice this here cabinet is rendered in 3D instead, which means it can be moved, and yep, there is a little clip hidden underneath it. We're down to fine health. Apparently that dog got me just a tiny bit enough to bring me down. Got a nice mugshot of Jill there. Haven't the early PlayStation graphics held up very well. And there's our first green herb of the game. Green herbs are a staple of the Resident Evil series, and the only guaranteed way to heal yourself without being punished by the games. And in this bathroom we've got, well, nothing really. Nothing at all. In the director's cut, there's actually a zombie that will appear if you look in the mirror and get an instant bite on you. But that's it. There's not really much else in there unless you're playing Chris's game. And down this corridor we go. We're going to ignore that first door. Instead, we're going to go through here. There's another zombie. And the grenade launcher really makes short work of them. And why bother wasting around on that one? And here we seem to be in some sort of art gallery. The picture's entitled From Cradle to Grave. And that is a clue for the puzzle in this room. We've got a picture of a tired middle-aged man with a switch beneath it, but let's not start hitting buttons at random. And there's a picture of a newborn baby. And there's some, obviously, angry crows there. You don't really want to shoot at them unless you want to get bothered by a lot of crows. A picture of a young man here. You're beginning to notice a theme. It seems to be pictures of somebody at various different stages of their life. A lively boy. And next, my favourite description, the picture of the bold-looking old man. I'm wondering in what way is he bold-looking. He just looks old to me there. And this last one's entitled The End of Life. So, it's pretty easy to figure out what you've got to do here. You've got to go in order from the youngest to the oldest. So, a newborn baby to an infant. To the lively boy. Then there's the picture of the young man. The tired middle-aged man, of course. And finally our bold old man. If you manage to do this puzzle wrong, the birds actually will start to attack you anyway. And yeah, you really don't want that happening. But here's the last button. Clicking that, it's fallen off the wall. Behind it we've got a crest. Well, I'm not sure what these crests could be for yet, but we'll take it anyway. You like to assume that a puzzle like that there was put there for a reason to hide this. It must be of some importance. Another locked door, and this time it's the helmet key, so when are we going to find use for the other key that we picked up, the shield key? Well, we'll find out in due course. Another dead zombie. He wasn't much bother there. Oh, Jill, you've plenty of time to enjoy those pictures. You were just enjoying some a few seconds ago. There's Green Herb. Green Herb. Yeah, I guess stoners like Resident Evil, or Resident Evil likes stoners. And then here we've got another storeroom where I'm going to edit out the tedium of that. Gonna keep a hold of the green herb just in case we get munched on. Keep our bazooka, and as well as our pistol. We've got some chemicals now. And aside from that, there's not much else in the room. Like I said, it's a standard safe room. Let's try going up these stairs to the second floor. Or let's not. In fact, I'm going to be backtracking through the way I went before, because it's actually technically going to be safer this way. Because I know I've killed all the monsters that are in my way here, so yeah, may as well go back the safest way you've been. This isn't the ideal route to play through the game. If you actually play the recommended route that Barry gives you at the start of investigating the first floor opposite the dining room, then basically you can cut a lot of time in backtracking that I've had to do here, but then you're going to miss classic cutscenes like Barry finding Forrest's body. And was Forrest spare from the Bravo team, incidentally. He was supposed to be their guns expert, yet even with a grenade launcher couldn't take on Crow. It's a pretty low end. We're gonna head down to this bottom room here and check out what's inside. Sound of a generator over here. No pump. Water seems to be sent from here. The lid is open. Not sure why she's so surprised or excited about that. But yeah, there's a pretty nasty, shitty plant here that's not gonna let us pass. So it's a good thing that we've got a nice bag of chemicals. We're going to empty that in. And yeah, as you can see, it turns the water red for some reason. Down goes the plant. You can see there's a key hidden on the wall there. And not only that, there's actually a bunch of herbs, including red herbs as well. Now, red herbs can be combined with green herbs, and that will triple the strength of the herb, so it'll usually take you from danger in the red zone right back up to the full health green. It's a local herb for local people. No outsiders be taking these herbs. And yeah, Jill just keeps them on a wee piece of paper. You may as well stock up on some of these red herbs while we're here, because ultimately you do want to get most bang for your buck out of those healing herbs, and you know, it saves a lot less clutter in your inventory. So we've got a mansion key, and let's check to see which key this one is. It's the armor key. And the armor key is going to be very handy. It opens the most doors in this mansion, and the one's essential to doing the first playthrough of the mansion. That's right, we'll be visiting locations other than the mansion. Back through here, we can finally open this door. And inside here, we've got some handgun ammo. We've also got a broken shotgun. Oh, brilliant. A broken shotgun. That's going to be fantastic, isn't it? And when we've shotgun ammo, yet we've still no shotgun. And it's almost like the game's taunting you at this stage, throwing more shells at you. If you're playing the game through the regular path, you could have already had the shotgun by now. Unfortunately, getting the bazooka first, well, that means that you're not going to be able to get the shotgun first, and that's a bit of a shame. But we're going to take the broken shotgun with us anyway, because you'll soon figure out in this game it doesn't give you stuff unless you've got some sort of use for it at some stage. So let's hold on to it. Since we're out of grenade ammo, might as well put that away. Well, apparently it's too dangerous to fire. Does it have another use? Well, let's hope so. Because I'm carrying it with me regardless. No time for that understairs zombie. Let's head back and see if we can find other places to use the armor key. I first played this here game back on the PlayStation in 1997, I think it was. We'd got a lend of it off a friend of the family, and we were really blown away by it. Me and my brother Christopher, and my brother Stephen. Christopher played through the majority of the game, and we ended up accidentally getting stuck on this route when we played through it, so there was a few things that happened that I wasn't expecting to see, because I'd seen some of it at my friend's house. But at the time, there was really nothing else like it. It was really exciting, what with the Hammy B-movie feel and, you know, the soundtrack, the really corny voice acting, and I don't know. I have a lot of nostalgia for this game, let's just say. They were simpler times. And of course it was super controversial, given the fact that they ended up having to censor so much when they released it over here, and this was still with Sony, who were trying to, you know, be hip and adult. Anyway, through this here area, you're going to use the armor key for the second time, and yep, there's some shotgun ammo hidden here. And as you can tell, if you were playing as Chris, having to get little small keys to take up even more inventory space would be a real pain in the butt. You're never really going to anticipate just when you're going to bump into those, and hang on a minute. Yeah, another crawling zombie. This one's actually crawling for you from the get-go though, but we're going to fill him full of lead. Nice big mirror there, but we don't have the key to that room, and we won't ever be getting the key for that room in the first playthrough. You have to finish the game to get the key, or be playing on the director's cut where it's open from the get-go, and that's where the hidden outfits are. Yeah, they're kind of a pointless extra, but, you know, it's better than nowadays where you would have to pay for that as DLC. Nothing else really in the room except an ink ribbon, so I just really wanted to show it off. I also quite like the wee details in there, like the big marble globe. We've got another doorway here where we can use the armor key. And out here, as you can see, and here indeed, there are dogs around, so we're gonna have to tread lightly. Done, boy. Yeah, I'm sorry, I cannot resist doing a lame pun every time I shoot a dog in a game. There's a lot of green herbs out here, but little else. Good to know if you need them. And why bother fighting that dog, because I'll probably never be back here in my playthrough. And now we're going to finally check out this little door over here. And inside we find a terrible graphical glitch. Yeah, sorry, that's my emulator acting up. We've got another room in here, and look at that on the wall, it's a real shotgun! So we're going to be taking that. Let's check it out. Pump action shotguns are the best. S marks top of the line. And no, it won't let me use it, even though I was in the right position, because the animation hadn't played out to show that it had been on a little weighted lever. So we're going to leave the broken shotgun behind here, and that's going to be just a trick to avoid setting a dangerous trap, where you'd be squashed to death by the roof if you had tried to leave just with taking the shotgun. Now you have to pull an Indiana Jones weight replacement trick. And if you go straight to that room at the start of the game, Barry will rescue you, but again then you won't get the cutscene with Barry and Forrest, and then where would we be? But it's good to finally have a shotgun, some real power. The shotgun's very satisfying in this game. It's great at taking out zombies and dogs, and it stays useful until late in the game. So this time, correctly, we're going upstairs, unlike last time where I thought I was going back upstairs, but I'd forgot what I was doing in this playthrough. You'll see that a few times where I kind of slip up, but I'll try to edit most of them out in future. Oh man, that is such a shotgun. Again, the head just pops off like a big wet watermelon hit with a nice big sledgehammer. Just nice and mushy. Nice big stag's head here. Somebody's in the taxidermy. And who's that at the door? Oh, it's you again. Yeah, the shotgun's very good at taking out zombies. If they get close enough, it's a guaranteed one-hit kill. Always useful. Almost seem to be in somebody's dormitory, and there's another red herb. So, may as well help ourselves too. And again, we've got our mixed herbs, which are going to come in plenty handy over the course of the game. Now we've got our lighter. And finally, a clip for a gun that we're not carrying. Oh well. Now over here is going to be one of the other optional cutscenes which you can't get playing through the game in the main route, so I'll shut up for this.
Is that you, Jill?
What's going on? How come you look so scared?
Look at this.
It's a letter. The top of the letter is missing. It just says, "Yes, I'm infected. I did everything I could, but I could only delay the progress by a few days. The most frightening thing is that I forget more about you by the day, so I chose a peaceful death rather than becoming the living dead." Oh dear, this is pretty serious. So, we now know they're definitely zombies. "Within an hour, I will have entered eternal sleep. I do hope you'll understand my decision. Goodbye and forever yours, Martin Crackhorn."
What do you think of it?
I've been thinking something is wrong with this house.
Right.
Hey, what is this? There's a page missing.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Perhaps that was the most important part.
Well, that was very insightful, wasn't it? But yeah, somebody seems to have beaten us to the diary and removed the pages. Couldn't have been Barry, could it? Was he fiddling around with this wall switch too? He does seem to be acting a bit suspiciously. After all, he said he was going to be in the dining room that he was obsessed with, but that's twice we've not found him there. Anyway, that there switch drained water, and as you can tell from that moving shelf, that means we can push this here into place and discover some hidden explosive rounds for the grenade launcher behind the big shelf. The fish tank would have been too heavy to move had we not drained it. It's strange that they don't even try to hide the fact that there's a switch on the wall. It's just like, no, somebody else has already punched it through, so you may as well just hit the button. I'm gonna check over here as well since I'm in the area. And over here we've got a fireplace. And since there's wood in the stove, why not light ourselves a fire now that we've got a lighter? Dun dun dun! Yep, there's a map. Would you even call this a puzzle? I wouldn't really. You can see there's green herb there, but I'm going to leave it here later. I've got a health item on me at the moment to heal the fool, and you never know when I might need the one in here. Nice Zippo lighter and explosive rounds. Yep, they're definitely explosive rounds. I'm going to check out this door over here, and of course it's locked. And once again, we're going to need the helmet key. Where the hell are we going to use this shield key we were given? Be forgiven for thinking that, you know, you're never going to find the door for it. We unlock this door from this end. I think we approached it from this side, I guess. And oh no, another green zombie. Again, having the shotgun, it just really makes things easier. I used the armor key in this door, but I'm not actually going to enter the room yet. I will come back to it though. Instead, we're going to go in here. Well, that's got rid of the armor key, and since it's no longer any use to us, she's going to throw it away. But hang on a minute, Jill, it is still got a use. You could lock the doors again. Jill is just a little simple.
Richard, what happened?
Oh, Jill, this house is dangerous. There are terrible demons. Ouch!
You're wounded. What kind of demon attacked you?
It was a huge snake, and also it's poisonous. Ugh.
Poisonous? Oh no. Richard, hold on.
There is serum. Oh no, I should have brought some with me.
No problem. I'll go and get it.
Thanks.
Well, that was Richard Aiken from Star's Bravo team, but hey, at least we found somebody from Bravo team that's still alive. And the map automatically pops up there just to point out where we're going to have to go to pick up the serum. And it's back in the safe room. The safe room all the way over here. So yeah, I wasn't joking when I said there was lots of backtracking in Resident Evil. And if you've taken out the monsters, then, well, you know, it's going to be a pretty lonely jaunt back. And that zombie here, nah, I'm not going to bother with him. He can't scare me, he can't threaten me. Time sort of is of the essence for this here. As long as you get back within 6 minutes, then Richard will still be alive. If you take any longer than that, he's gonna be dead. If you manage to do it in less than 3 minutes, it's beneficial for another cutscene, but we'll not go into that. Again, ignoring that zombie under the stairs, he's absolutely pointless. And finally, we're able to pick up the serum. I was examining it before this here, it just said that it was merely serum. By that logic, we may as well just leave our handgun just lying on the shelves until we go, oh hang on a minute, I've got a handgun now. Now I could use that stuff. I've picked up that shield key because I've got a feeling we're going to be needing it soon. And now it's time to rush back to Richard with our serum. Oh man, gotta get there before he dies! Out of the way, you! Yep. I decided to finally take him out. Well, you know, he was in the way. And I do have plenty of ammo. And it's for Richard, man. I hope he's grateful for this. Went all the way across the house to get him the serum. That's a good thing we had a cure for snake serum.
Here's the serum. Richard, hold on. I'll give you a shot now.
Jill, here's my radio. You should keep it. I'm...
No! Richard!
Jill, be careful.
And after all that, Richard's dead anyway. Like I was trying to say before, it is kind of convenient that that serum room had, like, snake anti-venom there, but... oh well. Oh. Zombie nearly got me there. That bloody handprint doesn't bode well over there, does it? Perhaps it was Richard that had stumbled against the wall. And in here, we've got another shelf we can move. Again, you can just tell by the fact that it's 3D alone that it's going to be moved. Compared to the static backdrops. And back here, well, it's too dark to see anything apparently. So, what we're gonna have to do is light a candle. Now the room looks a lot better. All that astrological stuff there is kind of cool. And we've got some acid rounds. And the acid rounds, as Barry explains on the other route, are really powerful. Especially against living things. And yeah, given the fact that the house is entirely infected with the undead, should not make them almost entirely useless? Oh, but finally we found a use for the shield key. But hang on a minute. How did Richard get out and lock the door and then get the shield key to where it was hidden behind a clock? That's a bit weird. But I guess this must be Richard's terrible demon. It's the snake called Yawn, and it's a bit of a pain in the arse, to be honest. It can kill you in a couple of hits, so I'm in trouble here already. And I'm accidentally using my shotgun on it instead of the acid rounds, which is really, really dumb. But yeah, just keep blasting away at it, and eventually it decides to piss off. You can also try to run around it and grab the item that we've came for in this room. But, nah, I like to take them on face to face. And I notice that there's some shotgun shells over here. But we're poisoned, just like Richard, and hopefully we won't die quite as horrible a death. Gushing blood out like that and all. Now we've got another one of these crests. This time it's the moon crest. We seem to have escaped with our lives, but
Am I poisoned? Give me the serum.
who's she asking to give her the serum, I wonder? Is she talking to herself or to us? Anyway, I'm going to cut out some tedious backtracking here because there's no enemies for me to fight along the route because I'd killed them all. And we're just going back here to get some serum. And as you can tell, our health is not looking good. In fact, we were very close to death there. So, the serum and healing up were entirely necessary. And remembering to equip the grenade launcher, it's time to move on. And again, with that magic edit, through the magic door, Jill teleports back to here. Once again, there was no monsters on the way. I keep calling them monsters, I mean they're zombies. The fact that they keep calling them monsters in this is quite silly too. So, I don't know, maybe mocking's catching or something. Is that the lesson here? And a weird hole opens. Yep, that's what she said. But yeah, okay. We can see that there's a switch in the middle of the room and these vents that look dodgy. Some heavy armor and these weird Roman busts of sort. But let's cover up those weird holes, as Jill calls it. Because if you were to hit this here switch without covering them, then the room fills with poison gas. But if you keep them covered, instead what happens is no gas, and that chest's gonna open. And what have we got inside? But a sun crest. So that's 4 crests now. And that's the usefulness of that room done, so let's just check along here. We've not been into this little room before. And in here, we appear to have a small study, lots of books, and here's a botany book about medicinal herbs. Anyway, I could probably talk about the full herb thing here. There's the standard green herbs. They will heal only a small portion of health, usually from yellow health back to full green health, or from orange caution health up to the yellow fine health. And as you can read here, if you mix it with the red herbs, then it's 3 times as powerful. And there's also the blue herbs. And the blue herbs are gonna heal you from any poison, except of course from the giant snake's poison. But we're actually able to combine all 3 of those herbs together to get some sort of ultimate super golden herb that will heal everything. So if you ever get the chance to do that, it's definitely worth doing. And I decided not to narrate the botany book because, well, there was really no opportunity for hilarious voice acting now, was there? Thank God, says you. Anyway, without this helmet key, it doesn't look like there's anywhere else that we're going to be able to investigate in the mansion. And close encounter with a green zombie here. I forgot to take him out earlier, and I actually need to, so I'm trying to run around him, and I managed to fail really badly. So he's got a bite out of me, but again, I decided not to fight him. I decided to let him go. And you can just about hear the dog right here. And it goes down in one shot from these acid rounds. When the sun sets in the west and the moon rises in the east, stars will begin to appear in the sky and the wind will blow towards. The gate of new life will open. Yes, okay, well, let's just put these little crests and they seem to correlate with the little rhyme that was written there. And this is the first major gate bar in your way where you need the pointlessly obscure Resident Evil token items. Who sets up houses with this kind of stuff, everybody always asks. And, you know, you could imagine it in a weird mansion like this here that's a cover-up. And maybe even in a very old police station like in Resident Evil 2. However, when it comes to Resident Evil 3 and there's major portions of the city walled off by gates that need magic diamonds, then it's starting to get a bit daft at that stage. And they always seem to have some sort of obvious thing, like armor keys for instance, or in Resident Evil 2 you get a deck of card keys. There's always a thing. But that was a bit of a non-puzzle once again in order to get this here crank. And as you can imagine, we're probably going to be needing this crank sometime in the future. Out here we've got a couple of more herbs, but if you can hear those little clicking footsteps, that means there's dogs nearby. So we best be very quiet. Are they getting lighter? There's one right there. And he's dead. And so's his brother. What was that? What was that beeping?
This is Brad. Stars Alpha Team. Please respond. What the hell? Is nobody out there?
Brad, this is Jill.
This is Brad. Stars Alpha Team. Bravo Team. It doesn't matter. Anybody, answer me. This is
Brad? Brad!
Yeah, Jill's a little slow on the old intake. She hasn't figured out yet that maybe the radio's broken. So that was a brilliant parting gift from Richard, wasn't it? Here, take my broken radio. But I suppose it could have been chewed up by the snake or something, so maybe it's lucky that it works at all. It's a local herb. And yeah, it's time for me to show you the super herb then, so we're going to mix them all together. And it's a kind of goldy browny colour. It's not hash, I don't think, even though the game has green herbs too. I don't think you're actually making any kind of like hash. Hopefully. Although I guess it would explain why the paint's numbed. But down here, we've got a map of the garden, which is technically this area. So, looks like there's a lift there, but it's not coming up for us, so we're going to just carry on further into the garden. Out here we've got some water blocking our path. But over here, there's room for a square hole. Now if we check the crank, what do you know? It's a square crank. I think we'll be using that. Well, let's let the water out, so we'll be able to carry on. I imagine it would be very slippy, but obviously Jill has some very sturdy boots on. I'm climbing up here. Oh no! Deadly snakes! These snakes can poison you, but yeah, they're pretty shit. That's as much threat as you ever get. You'd kind of have to be running around like a dick to get bitten by them, so nothing to worry about anyway, not for our Jill. And out here, well, there's a dog with its eye popping out, so it's taken more than one acid round, which is a big shock. So let's ignore this last one, given the fact that I'm getting low on ammo. I'd kind of not expected the dog to take more than one hit from an acid round. Here's another doggy. Damn boy. Yes, I just can't help it. And since we're all lower health, well, we may as well take this green herb. And the dog takes a piece out of me, but that's exactly what I've got a herb like that for. And you can see its AI is fairly crappy, and it manages to get caught on walls. And now we finally entered the Guardhouse. The Guardhouse is the second main area in Resident Evil. And as you can tell with this big gargoyle-y statue here, that it's going to be handy because it's in 3D, so we can push it. And rather than showing you what you need to push this to, I'm just going to go ahead and do it anyway. Basically, there's a hole over here, and unless you cover it with this statue, you will always get strangled by a vine going past, taking some health off, and it's really bloody annoying. And it's not very interesting to see, so may as well just cover the hole now. But anyway, we're nearing the end of this Let's Play. I'm coming into this safe room here, which has some grenade rounds. It's also got another first aid spray, which, you know, that can always be handy. Especially, as I pointed out before, this game won't punish you for using it. Yeah, like I said, obsessive compulsive sorting disorder. That's what I've got when it comes to the safe box. Anyway, we've reached the end of this Let's Play. Hopefully you'll join me next time for more adventures in the Guardhouse. And this has been Let's Play Resident Evil. Thanks for watching.